Your words have truly set the tone for today's session. Now, without further delay, let me introduce today's resource person, Dr. Thakur Shivalochan Chandeliya. He serves as an assistant professor in the Department of Sanskrit, Faculty of Arts, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. He holds MA, MPhil, and PhD degrees from JNU, New Delhi. His areas of specialization include Indian philosophy, Sanskrit language and literature, Hindu studies, and Indian knowledge tradition. He has been honored with the K.M.'s Sahaya Gold Medal and D.S. Gardi Scholarship, the Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Fund Award, and the UGC Senior Research Fellowship. He possesses over 10 years of teaching experience at both the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. He has authored 2 reference books and has published more than 30 research papers in various national and international research journals. I invite our esteemed resource person, Dr. Thakur Shivalochan Chandeliya, to deliver his talk on Lakṣaṇā Vṛtti in Sanskrit Poetics, Kāvyaprakāśa. So the stage is yours.
Thank you, Sumangala. Idam namaha rishibhyah purvajebhyah purvebhyah pathikritbhyah Gangataranga ramaniya jatakalapam gauri nirantar vibhushita vama bhagam Narayana priyamananga madapaharam Varanasi purpatim bhaj vishwanatham. Namaha sabhabhyah sabhapatibhyascha. Honorable Vice Chancellor CSU Professor Srinivas Varkhedi ji, Professor Basavaraj Donur ji, Sumangala ji, Sangamesh ji, who contacted me for this lecture series, and all other respected dignitaries included in this virtual platform. Very good evening to all of you. It is a real pleasure for me, or rather it is an honor for me to be here as an orator, as a resource person for this prestigious lecture series, and it is a subject of honor that I am the first here for this lecture series. I am a student of Sanskrit, particularly Indian philosophies. So I have not that much expertise over poetics, but as because of the blessings of my gurus, Samarth gurus, whatever I have studied, I will try to furnish it here in front of you. As it is said, my subject is Lakṣaṇā Vṛtti, as stated by Acharya Mammata in Kāvyaprakāśa, Indian poetics. In Indian poetics, in Sanskrit poetical tradition, poetics, Kāvyaprakāśa is one of the souvenir text. So in Kāvyaprakāśa, the word power, Sabda Sakti, Sabda Vṛtti, is referred in detail. I will try to deal it with the beginning. The history of the science of poetry, Kāvyaprakāśa, in India, like that of all other sciences, other shastras, is lost in tradition. Speaks of original aphorism by Bharata as Natya Shastra and Vamana, Kāvyalankara. These aphorisms too are lost for the present. For some extent we have them. So Vamana Sutras are not that old. That is to say, not much older than 800 AD. And after that, the outlines and the elementary principles of Sahitya are given in Agni Purana, in Agni Purana, we find two different chapters based on Indian poetical tradition, Sanskrit poetics. But as to the authorship, authenticity, and antiquity of the work, grave doubts are entertained by those learned in that matters. So, from Agni Purana, through Vamanas or Bharat Natya Shastras, we come in that tradition to Mammata. Mammata was a Brahmin, an Acharya of Kashmir, and his time or he lived and wrote his famous works certainly before 12th century AD, about the time when English literature was just beginning to be born. As notes Professor Ganganath Jha, the earliest commentary on the work of Mammata now available, and apparently the earliest in fact of is that of Manik Chandra, and that commentary dated by Manikya Chandra himself in the colophon with Samvat 1216, that is corresponding with 1159 AD. At the same time, there is no reason to believe that the author of Kāvyaprakāśa lived earlier than the 11th century AD, for he quotes a verse in his 10th chapter from Bhoja, who reigned in the earlier half of the century, 10th century. For a tradition has it that his younger brother, Uvvata, attended the court of this very Raja Bhoja at his capital, Avanti, for the same time. And he was probably the medium of that quotation. So, Mammata quotes Raja Bhoja, and through this period of times, we can have that time of Mammata during 10th to 11th century AD. He was an Acharya based in Kashmir, and his family tree, as we find, he was a member of a Pandit family, a learned family. He was the son of Jayata, who was the joint author with Vamana on the celebrated grammatical treatise Kasika, and he was the brother of Kayyata, the author of standard gloss on Patanjali's Mahabhasya on the above mentioned text. Mammata, it's said to have traveled to Banaras for purpose of his study. One of the commentator of Kāvyaprakāśa, Bhimasena, states that he has traveled to Banaras for his higher studies. A lot of literary names ending with the characteristic syllable ta are to be found in the books of that period. Vajrata, Rudrata, Allata, Bhallata, all of them were Kashmiri Pandits. So there is enough to believe that Mammata was a Pandit from Kashmir. The mention of Allata leads us to the fact that the Kāvyaprakāśa could not be completed by Mammata himself. Kāvyaprakāśa is said to be through the authorship of Mammata, but he was not the sole author. The text is consisted of 10 chapters, 10 Ullasa. The 10th Ullasa of Kāvyaprakāśa is said to be written by Mammata and Allata, both. So the story is Mammata could not complete Kāvyaprakāśa in his lifetime. So about a third of the last chapter was written by Allata from second half of the 118th verse of that Kāvyaprakāśa. So this was the brief introduction of Vṛttitva and Krititva of Mammata. So there are several commentaries on Kāvyaprakāśa which give us the briefs, the narrations of everything about Mammata. So how famous is this text? We can infer through the quote, Kāvyaprakāśasya krita gehe gehe tika tathapi esha tathaiva durgamah. Of the commentaries and glosses of the Kāvyaprakāśa, the number is legion, verses current amongst the Pandit refer it like commentaries on the Kāvyaprakāśa have been done up in every house, and yet it remains as difficult to understand as ever. Or Kāvyaprakāśe tipanyah sahasram santi tadyapi. Although there are thousands of glosses on the Kāvyaprakāśa, there is no other Sanskrit work so much be commented except perhaps the Paribhasendu Shekhar of Nagesh Bhatta. It might be worth mention in the connection that Vishwanath Kaviraj, the author of Sahitya Darpan, himself admits to have gained many things from Kāvyaprakāśa, and he decided he intends to write a commentary of Kāvyaprakāśa itself. So we begin with the Grantha Kāvyaprakāśa. In the first chapter, the Pratham Ullasa, Mammata performs his Mangalacharana in a way that it gives note of everything to be written in future. Niyatikrit niyam rahitam ladaik mayim ananya paratantram navaras ruchiram nirmitim adadhati bharati kaveh jayati. Splendid is the poet's speech. Kavi Bharati is splendid. It is comprehending a certain a creation which is without the restraints of nature's law, full of pleasure alone, independent of other helps, rejoicing in a ninefold rasa. Brahma's creation is subject to the law of nature, is full of pleasure, pain, and delusion, is dependent upon material and cooperative causes such as atoms and actions respectively, has only 6 rasa, sadras only, and these too not always of an agreeable nature. Thus creation of the poet, on contrary, the creation of a kavi, poet, his speech creates different. Hence it is splendid, an expression which implies the author, after Mangalacharana, states the subject matter together with the aim of poetry. What does poetry do? What is the aim of Kavya? Kavya Prayojana. So he says Kavyam Yasase, and it is very famous among the tradition. Kavyam Yasase Arthakrite Vyavahar Vide Siveta Rakshataye Sadyah Paranibrittaye Kanta Sammitopadesa Yuje. Kanta Sammitataya Upadesa Yuje. Kavyam Yasase. Poetry brings fame. Arthakrite, it brings riches. Vyavahara Vide, it gives the knowledge of the ways of the world. And Siveta Rakshataye, it gives relief from evils. Poetry relieves us from evils. Sadhya Paranivrittaye, it gives instant and perfect happiness, bliss. Kanta Sammit Tayopadesh Yuje, and it counsels sweet as from the lips of a beloved consort. So he explains these aims. He explains Kavyam Yasase, fame. Poetry gives us fame. As to Kalidas and others, they became famous by their creation. Arthakrite, it gives wealth. As to Dhavaka and others, there is a story of Dhavaka. I am skipping it. Veta Rakshataye, Vyavahara Vide, Sadhya Paranivritte, all of these are the aim of poetry. What does poetry do? And having defined the aim, the author now, Mammat now, states the sources of poetry. How does poetry arise? What is the source of poetry? He says, Sakti Nipunata Lok Shastra Kavyadi Avekshanath Kavyagya Sikshayabhyasa iti hetu tadudbhave. It translates as poetic genius, Sakti, knowledge born of a study of the world, Loka, of Shastra and of poems, of Kavya. Loka, Shastra, Kavya. Knowledge generated from the study of Loka, the worldly things, Shastra and Kavya, and the practice of teachings of those versed in writing poetry, Kavyagya Sikshayabhyasa. These three together constitute the source of poetry. These are not three different sources. All of the three constitute the source together. And it is the single source of poetry. Sakti Nipunata Loka Shastra Kavyadi Avekshanath Kavyagya Sikshaya Abhyasa iti hetus tadudbhave. This is the first chapter of Kāvyaprakāśa, in which Mammat states the what is the aim of poetry, from where does the poetry originate, what is the source of poetry, and after explaining the aims and the sources, he then says about the what is Kavya in fact. So what is the Lakṣaṇā, the definition of Kavya? So Mammat says, Tada dosho sabdartho saguno analankriti punah kwapi. Tada dosho sabdartho sagana analankriti punah kwapi. So it is the nature of the characteristic of poetry is it consists in word and artha, sabda and artha, word and meaning, word and sense without fault, without any dosa, and with merits, with guna. So there must be gunas, merits in Kavya. We will discuss it. It will be discussed in other chapters. What is the Kavya guna? What are the Kavya? What are the Kavya gunas? What are the Kavya dosas? The virtues and the faults of Kavya. So it consists gunas, and it is without any fault, and excellence of styles, which may at times be without figures of speech. It may be alankrita with alankara, or at times it also may be without alankara. Tadadosho sabdartho saguno analankೃತಿ punah kwapi. So the main constituent of Kavya is Sabda and Artha, word and meaning. This is the body of Kavya. So, in due order, Mammata describes the nature of words and their Artha, meaning. Kramena Sabdarthayoho Swarupam Aha. In course of time, now it is the sequence of expressing about the nature of words and their senses, their sense. So Mammat says, Syad Vachako Lakṣaṇika Sabdo Atra Vyanjaka Stridha. There are three kinds of words in poetry. So the body of poetry is word, and the sense is its Atma, is its soul. So there are three kinds of words in poetry. Vachaka, Lakṣaṇika, Vyanjaka. The expressive word, Vachak word. The indicative word is Lakṣaṇika word. And the suggestive word is Vyanjaka. Here in poetry, the exact nature of these is going to be defined later on, like the meaning thereof is expressed, that is expressed in the indication and the suggestion. According to some, it is tatparya arthopike suchit. Then meanings are also vachya, lakshya, and vyangya. So expressed meaning, indicated meaning, and suggested meanings. Some accept tatparya also. So that is the case. Now we come on the first one, that is Vachak Sabda. The primary word, the expressive word, is called the Vachaka, and it denotes the Vachya, the primary meaning. Sa mukhyo arthaha mukhyo vyaparo asya avidha uchyate. Now we come to the power of voice. I have a presentation also. If it is pertinent, then I can share my PPTs also.
Sure, sir. You can share.
Yeah. So I am sharing my screen now. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
So as we can see, just a minute. So we are here to discuss Sakti, Vyanjana, Lakṣaṇā Sakti. Let me minimize this. So is the screen visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
So we are discussing about Sakti here, the Vṛtti here. The relationship between word and meaning is denoted by Sakti. As Tark Sangrah Deepika is there, Sab-Sakti is the power of word to convey meaning to a listener. Generally, the purpose of language is the exchange of ideas. Therefore, meaning without words and words without meaning are both inconceivable. The word uttered by a speaker through which the listener is able to grasp its meaning is what known as Sabda, the power of word. Scholars of poetics have defined Sabshakti as the relationship between word and meaning. Based on this, several distinctions are recognized. However, Abhidha, denotation, and Lakṣaṇā, indication, are the two distinctions accepted by all the Vidwans. Abhidha is the primary denotative power of word which conveys literal meaning directly. As says Mammat, samukkhyo arthaha tatra mukhyo vyaparo asya abhidha uchyate. That is the primary meaning, and this is the primary function of the word called as denotation, abhidha. Now the second one is Lakṣaṇā. It is the indicative power. This research paper focuses entirely on Lakṣaṇā. So, Mammata says, Mukhyarth badhe tad yoge rudhito ath prayojanat anyo artho lakshate yat sa lakshana ropita kriya. This is when the primary meaning is precluded by incompatibility. Another meaning in affinity therewith comes to be implied either on the basis of uses or for a special purpose, either by rudhi or by a prayojana. So that the process of imposed implication is called indication or Lakṣaṇā. I am skipping some slides. मुख्यार्थ बाधे तद युक्तो यया अन्यो अर्थो प्रतीयते रूढ़ितो प्रयोजनाद् वा असो लक्षणा शक्तिरर्पिता. और this is an other part. मुख्यार्थ बाधे तद योगे रूढ़ितोत प्रयोजनात् अन्यो अर्थो लक्ष्यते यत् सा लक्षणा रोपिता क्रिया. So when the primary meaning is precluded, then the process of imposition or implication through which the other meaning is indicated is called Lakṣaṇā. In this expression, we have two examples based on Rudhi and based on Prayojan. So there are three necessary conditions for Lakṣaṇā. For Mukhyarth Badha, obstruction of primary or literal meaning. Second is Tad Yoga, connection between the primary meaning and the indicated meaning. And the third is convention or specific purpose, Rudhi or Prayojana. Acharya Mammata called Lakṣaṇā an Aropita Kriya or imposed function. So there are two classic examples of Lakṣaṇā by Acharya Mammata. Example one is of Rudhi, of convention. It is Karmani Kusalaha. In the expression Karmani Kusalaha, it is used in a sense of a person expert in his work. Karmani Kusalaha. He is expert in his work. He is Kusala. But the primary meaning of the word Kusala is someone who chops the grass, the kusha. Kusan lati iti kusalaha. One who is well expert in chopping grass, kusha. The primary meaning is blocked in this context by convention, by rudhi. Kusala is rude. It's by convention, it is expressed as someone skilled in any work. So the indicated meaning, the Lakṣya, is conveyed as expert here. This is Lakṣaṇā based on Rudhi. The literal meaning of the word Kusala is grass chopper, but it is plucked. So by the Lakṣaṇā Vṛtti, the word is now conveyed in the meaning of expert in any function. The second example is of Gangayam Ghosha. It is the example of purpose-based Lakṣaṇā, Prayojana. Lakṣaṇā due to some Prayojana. That is Gangayam Ghosha. Gangayam in the Ganges is the hamlet, the ranch of Gopa, ranch of cattle breeders is in the Ganga. The primary meaning of the term Ganga is the river itself. Ganga is the river. The primary meaning is river. It is impossible to hold any ranch, any village, any hamlet in the flow of Ganga river. So Mukhyarth Bhaja is there. So the connected meaning is near or on the bank of the Ganga. It is denoted by some purpose, prayojana, to convey that the hamlet enjoys the coolness and the sanctity of sacred river Ganga. This is Lakṣaṇā based on prayojana. Gangayam Ghoshaha. Ganga is the river itself. This is incompatible as the location for any range. Hence, in both of these cases, the primary meaning is barred. Primary meaning is not possible. And another secondary meaning comes to be implied by the primary meaning in each of these two cases. The term Kusala implying the sense of the expert, which is in affinity with the primary sense of grass chopping. In this, that just as the expert in business is proposed of discrimination, so is the grass chopper also, who cuts and he needs and rejects what he does not need. And the term Ganga in the other example implying the sense of the bank, which is in affinity with the primary sense of the river. In this, that is, it is situated in close proximity. And while the case of the term Kusala, the said implication is based on usage, convention, by which the term is generally used in the sense of expert, while in the other example, that of the term Ganga, the said implication proceeds on the basis of purpose of pointing out those properties of sanctity, and the rest which could not be expressed by the use of such expression as Ganga Tate Ghosaha. The ranch on the bank of the Ganga, this function of indirect implication is imposed, aropita, upon the word in the sense that is, it is not direct from the word to the meaning, but it is indirect rather through certain intervening factors in the shape of incompatibility of the primary meaning and rest mentioned in the text. So we have two classical examples, Gangayam Ghoshaha, Karmani Kusalaha. First is Karmani Kusalaha is the example of convention-based Lakṣaṇā, Rudhimula Lakṣaṇā, and the other one, Gangayam Ghoshaha, is based on some purpose to express the purpose of sanctity, coolness in the ranch, in the hamlet, as that of Ganga. So if we state Ganga Tate Ghosaha, then chamatkara of the word will be lost. So these are the two classic examples. Now on the different bheda, different types of lakshana. So Mammata firstly bifurcates the lakshana in two. One is upadana lakshana and the other is lakshana lakshana. He says swasiddhaye parakshepah parartham swasamarpanam upadanam lakshanam cheti ukta suddhaiva sadvidha. One is the pure indication and the second is qualitative indication, Suddha and Gauni Lakshana. So, pure indication, which is indication is of two kinds. Pure indication, Suddha Lakshana is of two kinds. The inclusive, in which there is implication of the other, the secondary meaning, for the purpose of completing the logical connection of the primary meaning itself, and the other is Lakshan Lakshana, the indicative indication, in which the primary meaning surrenders itself for the sake of the other. So Upadana Lakshana, here a word for establishing its own primary meaning, it draws or imports another meaning. The primary meaning is retained. Example is Gangayam Ghoshaha. Primary meaning is Ganga Pravaha, the river, the meaning retained, and the other meaning, bank, is indicated by the word itself. The qualities of the river still apply to the hamlet which is at its bank. Other form is of Suddha Lakshana, it is Lakshana Lakshana, where a word for establishing its other meaning, Lakshyartha, it completely abandons samarpan of its own meaning, primary meaning, it completely abandons its own primary meaning. So here the primary meaning is completely abandoned. Example is Karmani Kusalaha. Kusala, primary meaning is one who cuts kusha, grass. It is completely abandoned, and the other meaning, which is expert or skilled, is implicated, is indicated. So both Upadana Lakshana and Lakshan Lakshana are called Suddha, pure Lakshana, because it is not mixed with Upachara or similarity based relation. There is no similarity based relation in this type of Lakshana. So it is called Suddha. Where there is Upachara Misra to Gauni. Upachara is there, then it is called Gauni Lakshana. So Atra, here we can see Suddha versus Gauni Lakshana. The Upachara. Acharya Mammata delineated two primary types of Lakshana, Suddha and Gauni, based on whether Upachara is present or not. Similarity based relation is there or not. Suddha Lakshana, pure Lakshana, is free from Upachara, based on logical relations other than similarity, that is cause effect, Kari Karana, spatial proximity. The non-difference between Lakshya and Lakshana is perceived directly. In the case of Gauni Lakshana, it is the secondary Lakshana, is qualitative Lakshana. It is mixed with Upachara. It proceeds from Sadrishya, similarity, resemblance. The difference between two distinct entities is suppressed by excess of similarity. So now, what is the Upachara? Upacharo hi nama atyanta visakalitayoho sadrisyatisay mahimna bheda pratiti sthagan matram. As says Acharya Vishwanath in Sahitya Darpana, the suppression of perception of difference between two completely distinct entities by virtue of an excess of similarity is called Upachara. Example of Gauni Lakshana is Singho Manvikaha. The boy is lion. The boy has the qualities of that of a lion. Lion-like qualities of bravery are projected onto the boy through similarity. Since similarity is the basis of Gauni Lakṣaṇā, so it is an example of Gauni Lakṣaṇā. Singho Manvakaha. The example of Suddha Lakṣaṇā is in Suddha also we will see the differences. Suddha, Sadhyavasana and Saropa. So there it is Saropa Lakṣaṇā. Saropa anyatu yatrokto Vishayi Vishayastatha. Where both the Vishayi, projector or Aropya, and the Vishay, object of projection, Aropa Vishay, are stated in words, and both are referred to in the same substratum, Samanadhikaranya, without the abolition of their difference. That is an example of Saropa Lakṣaṇā. Arop with Aropa, with imposition. Example is Gaurvahikah. The Vahika, the man, is a cow, particularly an ox. So the Vishayi here, Aropyamana, is a cow or an ox stated in words through its own denoting word. Vishaya or Aropyamana, Aropa Vishaya, is Vahika, a man, stated in words through its own denoting word. Both are referred to in the same substratum, Samanadhikaranya. The difference between them is not abolished. Both appear in their own form. So it is an example of Saropa Lakṣaṇā. The man is a cow. Man is also stated, cow is also stated. Nothing is abolished. So it is Saropa. Where the Vishayi, what is imposed, swallows or takes within itself the other, that is called Sadhyavasana, introspective indication. Vishayi antah krite anyasmin sa syat sadhyavasanika. Where the Vishayi swallows up or absorbs antah krite, within itself the Vishaya, the object of projection, there is Sadhyavasana Lakṣaṇā. The example is Gaurayam. This is a cow. Man is not stated here. This is a cow. Man is abolished. The Vishaya is swallowed by the Aropyaman cow. Non-difference or abheda between Vishay and Vishay is perceived. The Vishay is accomplished and concluded within the Vishay itself. Gaurayam. I am Gau. Vishay is the Go, stated in words. Vishay is Vahika, the Purush. It is not stated in the words. It is swallowed by Gau. The word idam or ayam absorbs the Vahika entirely within the cow. So it is complete non-difference. Abheda is perceived between Vishaya and Vishayi. This is Sadhyavasana because the Vishayi is accomplished within and absorbed by the Vishayi, the cow. So Gaurayam, Gaurvahika. Gaurvahika is Saropa Lakṣaṇā and Gaurayam is Sadhyavasana Lakṣaṇā. Both are the examples of pure or Suddha Lakṣaṇā itself because there is no Upachara here, no Sadrishya here. Karya Karan Bhava and other things are there. So the fourfold division comes here. Gauni, Suddha, Saropa, Sadhyavasana. Then Gauni has also two forms, Saropa, Sadhyavasana. So it is Suddha, Gauni, and both Saropa, Sadhyavasana, Prayojan Mula, Rodi Mula, Lakṣaṇā and Sadvida. So two types are each divided into Gauni and Suddha, giving it four types. Gauni Saropa, Gauni Sadhyavasana, Suddha Saropa, Suddha Sadhyavasana. Gaurayam, Gaurvahikaha, Ayurvedam, Ayurghritam. So, first we have some explanations of Gauni and Suddha here. So, the exact process of indication in these cases is explained by some people where the Vahi plowman is spoken of as the ox. This latter word indicates the quality of stupidity, jadya, dullness, mandya, and the like which belongs to the animal denoted by the word, and through these qualities the word ox comes to denote the man. According to the others, however, what happens is not the word ox directly expresses the man through its quality of stupidity and dullness, but that it indirectly indicates similar qualities in the man. According to the others, again, men of our way of thinking, the word ox indicates the man himself as being the substratum of those same qualities that belongs to the ox also. This has been declared elsewhere also. In Shloka Vartika, it indicates Abhidhe avina bhuta pratiti lakshanuchyate lakshaman gunai yoga vritte rishtatu gaunata. It is all about Gauni and Suddha Lakṣaṇā. So here in the Suddha, Ayurghritam, Ayurvedam, in the passage, examples of supreme potent and introspective indication based upon the factors other than similitude and upchara, and hence pure, we have in the two expressions Ayurghritam. Grit is Ayu, longevity, and Ayurvedam, it is longevity Ayu itself, where the factor upon which is indication based is some such relationship that between cause and effect and the like, and in all such cases, the two kinds of indication, super important and introspective, are such as are actually preceded relationship of cause and effect and the like. So, with primary two Bheda, the indication is of six kinds. Lakṣaṇā tena.
This was Subhash, this was.
So that is.
Sir, kindly mute yourself.
When
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
so the detailed analysis of Suddha Saropa Ayurghritam is Ghrita, the clarified butter, is the cause, life is the effect. So here the relation is not upchara, not similarity. Relation is cause effect relation. Aropyamana vishay is Ayu and Arop vishay is Ghrita. Both are stated in the words. So it is an example of Saropa. It is Suddha Saropa. Lakṣaṇā of the word Ayu occurs in the meaning of Ghrita through this cause-effect relation. The purpose is to convey that the Grit has extraordinary life-enhancing power compared to milks and other things. So the extraordinarity of Grit is indicated here. It is conveyed here. Now the other Suddha Sadhyavasana, it is Ayurvedam. Same cause-effect relation between Ayu and Grit is conveyed. Aropyaman Vishay is Ayu. It is stated in word, but Aropa Vishay Grit is not stated. It is swallowed by Ayu itself. So it is Sadhyavasana. Idam or this absorbs Grit entirely. Grit is swallowed by Ayu. The purpose is to convey definite certainty, abhyavichar of ghee or Grit's life enhancing power. So the purpose-oriented analysis of type of Lakṣaṇā is here. According to Acharya Mammata, each type of Lakṣaṇā has a specific purpose that it fulfills. Understanding this purpose is essential to understanding why Lakṣaṇā is used instead of primary meaning. Gauni Saropa, Gauni Sadhyavasana, Gaurvahikah, Gaurayam. To create the perception of identity, tadatmya, between Vishay and Vishaya, despite their differences, both are present and similarity makes their identity perceptible. Gauni Sadhyavasana, Gaurayam. To create complete and total not difference, Abheda. In the first example, it is tadatmya. In the other one, it is abheda. Between the projecting Vishay and the object of projection, the Vishaya is swallowed or fully, the full identity is perceived. So it is Sadhyavasana. And the other Yugma is of Suddha Saropa and Suddha Sadhyavasana to convey a peculiarly extraordinary causal power, Vailakṣaṇya. In Ayurghritam, ghee has a superior power to increase life compared to milk and other things. This distinctiveness is the purpose. And in Suddha Sadhyavasana, Ayurveda, to convey the definite and unfailing certainty of Vyavichar or Niyat Karitva of the causal power, ghee definitely and without fail possesses life-enhancing power. Certainty is the purpose. It is conveyed by Lakṣaṇā. So now we come to the conclusion. Lakṣaṇā is not merely a linguistic alternative. It is a scientific and psychological process of expanding meaning beyond the literal, where avidha, that is primary meaning, fails due to mukhyartha badha, due to the obstacle of mukhyartha, primary meaning. Lakṣaṇā unveils new and deeper dimensions of meaning. Gauni Lakṣaṇā gives voice to human sensibilities through similarity, sadrishya. Suddha Lakṣaṇā rests on solid logical cause-effect relations. This is the difference between Gauni and Suddha. Gauni is based on similarity and Suddha is based on other relations, as for example, cause and effect relation and other qualities, etc. Acharya Mammata his classification is grounded in lived experience and philosophical reasoning, not on mere grammatical rules. Lakṣaṇā lends scholarly legitimacy to seemingly impossible statements through Vailakṣaṇya or distinctiveness and abhyavichara, that is certainty. So when in Kāvya we express our feelings on such alankrita or type of Vṛtti, Kavi, the Manisha, the merit of Kavi is very Vilakṣaṇ, distinct, and Lakṣaṇā helps in expressing that distinctiveness. So from Vedic hymns to classical poetry, Lakṣaṇā pervades the entire tradition of Indian language philosophy. Even in modern linguistics, this subtle analysis of Lakṣaṇā remains equally relevant in the direction of meaning determination that is today. Lakṣaṇā is the bridge that liberates the word from rigidity and makes language a living light. So that was it. Now
Thank you for that enlightening and deeply enriching session, sir. Your explanation of Lakṣaṇā, Vṛtti and its significance in Sanskrit poetics has certainly enhanced our understanding and appreciation of literary theory. Now I request our respected chairperson, Professor Basavaraj P. Donur, sir, Honorary President, Dharwad Katte, Director of Academics, CUK Kalburgi, to kindly share his remarks and reflect upon today's session. Sir, over to you.
Dear viewers of Katte, hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, for Dharwad Katte, we have so far listened to two presentations. Professor Srinivas Vṛtti, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central Sanskrit University, New Delhi, has kindly accepted our invitation and symbolically inaugurated special lecture series on Sanskrit literature by delivering the inaugural address. Professor Srinivas Vṛtti is my well-wisher and is the Vice Chancellor of Central Sanskrit University. He is a renowned Sanskrit Pandit, Sanskrit scholar, has many publications to his credit, and currently he is serving as the Vice Chancellor of Central Sanskrit University. Prior to joining this university, he served as Vice Chancellor of Kavikula Guru Kalidasa University, Ramket in Maharashtra. As a matter of fact, I requested the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sanskrit University to collaborate with the Dharwad Katte Dharwad in organizing this lecture series on Sanskrit literature, and he has kindly agreed. And the formalities are still incomplete. That's the reason why we have not stated in our invitation card. This is conducted in collaboration with Sanskrit University, New Delhi. And the Honorable Vice Chancellor himself has hinted at it, and we may get his kind of approval in a week or so. Then this lecture series, the next lecture next week or after 1 week, will be organized by both Dharwad Katte and Central Sanskrit University, New Delhi. I thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor for not only accepting our invitation to be part of the inaugural session of this lecture series on Sanskrit literature, but also giving his consent to be part of the entire lecture series. And he has a very good opinion about Dharwad Katte, and he has always appreciated the programs that we have conducted during the last 5 to 6 years, not only in Kannada but also in English. And Dharwad Katte is no longer confined itself to the state of Karnataka or to the Kannada language. Although we conduct a large number of programs, seminars, conferences in Kannada, but we have also started conducting lecture series in English, and this is our major initiative. This lecture series will last for about 6 months. And the first 2 weeks, we conduct online lectures on the Sanskrit literature in the first 2 weeks of the month. And in the last 2 weeks of the month, we conduct programs on what we call Bharat in English Imagination. So 2 lecture series in English will be conducted for the next 6 months. I requested the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kashmir University to collaborate with Dharwad Katte in organizing the second lecture series on Bharat in English Imagination. So I must thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Srinivas Vṛtti, who has delivered his inaugural speech and who left the program to join another program already scheduled. I must also thank my friend and Dr. Thakur Shivalocana Shandilya from Banaras Hindu University, Banaras. And when Sanmesh and Sumangala contacted Thakur, and he has agreed, he has very happily agreed to be the resource person for the inaugural session. I'm very happy. I must sincerely place and record my thanks to Shandilya for delivering the inaugural lecture, the opening lecture, and it's a good beginning. And it said, "Well begun is half done." But I always tell my students that well begun is fully done. Thank you so much, sir, for delivering a wonderful lecture on this very important topic, Kāvyaprakāśa, an important book of theory by Mamata. So, Dr. Shandilya delivered his talk for about 65 to 70 minutes and covered all dimensions of Kāvyaprakāśa. And I like his remarks on words and meaning and power of the language. So I shall take 5 to 6 minutes to make some of my observations about the lecture delivered by Dr. Shandilya of BHU and also on this important book, Kāvyaprakāśa. And I always tell my students in the Department of English not to ignore Sanskrit and Sanskrit poetics, because we have our roots in Sanskrit poetics. And every Indian must read Sanskrit literature to understand the Indian poetic tradition, Indian drama tradition, Indian literary tradition. So as the Honorable Vice Chancellor said, we are not against learning any other language. We can learn English, French, German, but we should not oppose, to learn Indian languages like Sanskrit, Hindi, and so on. And Dr. Shandilya spoke about words and meaning. And I think it's Kalidasa who said, word and its meaning is like Shiva and Parvati, inseparable. They cannot be separated. But we are living in an era where the link between, the connection between word and its meaning seems to have lost. That's the reason why what I say does not mean anything to anybody. It's very difficult for anybody to convey some meaning to the people, because people have lost their faith in meaning, because this meaning, word and its meaning is connected with our personality. So I liked his views and opinions and his understanding of word and its meaning. Shakespeare also talks about words and their meaning in several of his plays, including Hamlet. So Hamlet says words, words, words. So why does he say that what he is reading is merely words? Because he doesn't find meaning in it. I do not have time to explain the context in which Hamlet makes this statement. And power of the language, I liked his ideas. Language has power, but everybody's language will not have power. If my language is to acquire power, then I should have power in me. Unless I have power in my personality, and the language that I speak will not become powerful. What I'm trying to say to you is that power is not political. It's not political power. It's not about political power that I'm saying. It's not about political power, politics that I'm speaking. It's about, literary power. It's not political power. It's poetic power. It's a spiritual power that makes the difference. And Shandilya talked about the various forms of power. And some of my views about this grantha, this important grantha, Kāvyaprakāśa. I'm trying to read this. I do not say that I have read this book and understood it like Dr. Thakur. He is basically a Sanskrit Pandit and Sanskrit professor, and his remarks on and about Kāvyaprakāśa become more important. And we all know that Mamata systematized earlier theories of Indian aesthetics. It is one of the most influential works in Sanskrit literary criticism, this Kāvyaprakāśa. And I must tell you why it is so important. I just take 2 to 3 minutes, then you can interact with Professor Thakur Shandilya. Number one, it defines the nature of Kavya, poetry, and how poetic meaning is created and appreciated. He tells us how meaning is created, how meaning can be appreciated and poetry can be appreciated. So Mammata integrates Bharta's rasa theory, Anandavardhana's dhvani theory, and Bhatta Nayaka's concepts. This is where his greatness lies. And his classification of poetry into different types such as Drishya Kavya and Shravya Kavya, etc. are very, very original and exciting. And he has also developed concepts such as rasa, aesthetic emotion, dhvani, suggestion, alankara, figures of speech, guna, qualities, dosha, flaws. So he is an important Sanskrit theorist. And if I want to talk about Indian poetics authoritatively, I must read Kāvyaprakāśa, I must read Mammata, I must read Anandavardhana, and so on. So in this sense, Kāvyaprakāśa by Mammata has both historical and contemporary importance and significance. So I once again convey my thanks to my dear friend Dr. Lakṣaṇā for delivering a wonderful speech. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, now you can interact with Thakurji.
Thank you, sir.
Over to Sumangala.
Yes, thank you, sir, for your valuable words and insightful ideas. Now the session is open for interaction. Participants who have questions may kindly type them in the chat box, or else you can unmute yourself and ask.
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Yes, Amrish.
Good evening, sir, and thank you very much for the very interesting lecture. My question is, I have a very curious question. Since I have come across this word Vṛtti in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra also, sir, could you please tell me whether there is a connection between the usage of the word Vṛtti in this work and the usage of the word Vṛtti in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra? I just have a curiosity, sir, and I want to know it.
Very good evening. In Sanskrit, every word is arise from root. There is a root to every word. So it is vritu vartane, which makes the word vritti. So, and the other thing is, as we watch Sanskrit kosas, in Kosa Granthas, there are various meanings, different meanings of a single word. So, we should have those meanings according to their contexts. So the context of Kavya Shastra is different and of Yoga Shastra is different. So in Yoga Shastra, it is expressive type of word. It is a technical terminology there. In Vṛtti is there about Chitta Vṛtti, Praman, Viparya, Vikalp, Nidra, Smritayah, Pancha Vṛttayah. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is Pancha Vṛtti are there. So at Vritu Vartane, what is to be dealt with is known as Vṛtti. So the Sahitya deals in Sabda and Artha. So Sahitya primary, the body is Sabda and its Vyapara, its action is denoted in its meaning. So Vṛtti denotes meaning in Sahitya and Praman, Viparya, Vikalp, various Vyapara, various actions of manas there in Yoga Shastra. Vṛtti denotes action of your mind, and here action of the word. So Sabda Vṛtti is here, Mano Vṛtti is there. Action is same in both the Shastras, but here the field is different. In Sahitya, action lies in its meaning of words, and in Yoga Shastra, action is that of a manas, a perceiver, a sadhak. So both are different. Context is also different.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Actually, Vṛtti is Vyapara. It is very good question. Vyapara is Vṛtti. Sabda Vyapara, the action of word. What word deals in? Word deals in meaning. So primary meaning is Abhidheyartha. The secondary or the indicative meaning is Lakṣartha, and the suggestive meaning is Vyangyartha. There are three type of meanings there in Sahitya.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your response. Yes. Basamba ma'am, you have question?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, sir, your lecture was very wonderful, profound, and insightful, sir. You told power of words, sir. That the similar idea was told by one of the romantic English poet Shelley, that God gave man speech, and speech created thought, which is the measure of the universe, sir. Which is same idea he also expressed, sir. Your words, power of words impacted lots, sir. Today's soul of the lecture is that, sir. Yes, sir. One of our lecture, Naikar sir, our guru sir, he used to tell me that those who have not learned Sanskrit is purely illiterate person. So I am very grateful to Donor sir for conducting this Sanskrit lecture in English. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. As Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Varkhedi stated earlier in his remarks, Sanskrit is the connecting thread of various languages, various language traditions. So, as the present case is there, as is the case of English, it is the repository of various knowledge traditions of, be it of engineering, be it of medicine, anything. It is written. It is being written in English in the present time. So that was the case in our time immemorial. Everything was being written in Sanskrit. So through the gate of Sanskrit, through the door of Sanskrit, we can have all those knowledge traditions, all those repository of knowledge seen. That is
yes,
the case.
sir. It is mother of all southern languages, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for your response. If anyone has questions to ask, you can.
Hello.
Okay, we can.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we are listening, Mr. Kulkarni.
Namaskar, Shandilji. My one question about this, but more than 46 commentaries are there on Mamata's Kāvyaprakāśa.
Yeah.
Then more than 46 famous commentaries are there. When we are discussing about Samskrita and Indian literature or Indian expression, whatever it may be, it is possible to classify all our expressions of Indian tradition. Then while learning this or while analyzing this particular Mamata through English, Mamata tells about all this Kavya Yasasya, Arthakrate, Vyavharavide, Shiveta Yakshaye, that means wellness, social welfare, and loneliness, to have the Dvaita Sthiti and Kanta Samiti Upadesha. Whether today or as on today, that means even present era, while learning the English literature or English poetry or even modern poetry, pleasing with a pleasing word. If a Samhita means it is imposed, we must. But Manta Samhita means it is for the pleasing. So, while discussing about
Sir, your connection is not stable, I think. The voice is breaking in between.
Okay, due to this internet. No, how to apply this
summarize your question,
for the...
Sir, please summarize
How
your
to
question.
apply
You are not
That's better. That's better.
English or modern literature.
Yeah. Sir, I think there is a congestion in the network.
Okay, no problem. I will cover.
No,
Okay, please continue, sir.
Now it is coming clearly.
Now, what is
Yes, sir.
the path? What is the path to use this particular Mamata's Kāvyaprakāśa to analyze the modern expressions either in English or in Indian literature?
Sir, the theory might be in a language or the other, but the principles remain the same. So, as far the poetic principles are concerned, guna, dosa, alankara, everything, bliss, rasa, everything what constitutes a virtue of any poem or any poetic creation, lakshya, remains the same. So if we analyze these theories, independently, irrespective of the language or the time or any other barrier, then it may be implied to any kavya, any rachana, any creation, poetic creation. So in this way, it can be analyzed or it can be used, I think.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There is a question in the chat box that I would like to read. Sabuj Biswas has asked, can the Vyanjana simply be considered as Anumana?
No, if it could be simply considered as Anumana or the Paryaya, it could not be elaborated like that much what is written in our Shastras. So Anumana can be a fraction, indication in Vyanjana, but Vyanjana is the distinct action or power of words itself that suggests any meaning. It suggests. Anumana helps in that suggestion, but it is not Vyanjana itself. Anumana is not Vyanjana itself. Anumana helps in suggestion, but it is not Vyanjana certainly.
Thank you for that clarification, sir. And thank you all for the fruitful discussion and interaction. I request the participants to register for this lecture series. The Google form link is shared already in the chat box, and your e-certificate will only be generated at the end of this lecture series once you attend all the lectures. Now I take this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Professor Srinivas Varakedi sir for his gracious presence and inspiring inaugural address. And I thank Dr. Thakur Shivalochan Sandilia sir for delivering such a wonderful and insightful talk. And I also thank Professor Basavaraj P. Donur sir for chairing the session and guiding us with his remarks. I thank the organizing team, all the members of Dharwad Katte for their efforts in making this successful event. Finally, I thank all the participants for joining us this evening and making this session interactive and meaningful. With this, we come to the end of today's session. Thank you all once again. Have a wonderful evening.
I once again thank the organizers, the chair, for giving me this opportunity to express something, and thanks to the participants, the esteemed dignitaries on this virtual platform, to patiently listening to me. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.